today's toy spot, we are having a look at the NECA Toys Planet of the Apes Classic Series 3 2015 convention exclusive. If you were lucky enough to go to the 2015 convention, of course SDCC, you were probably lucky enough to pick up this set for yourself. The set comes inside a white mailer box, shows Planet of the Apes Classic Series on the front, and the same on the back, item 299992. If we open these up, Spot wanted to start the review with the showing you the mailer box, but inside, open these all up and just dump the contents out. There we go. The contents will include Conquest Gorilla, Caesar, and let's get the other one out here. There we go. And the other one is General Aldo. Decided to actually do these all at the same time because essentially they are part of the same convention exclusive. It's recommended for ages 14 and up, and of course before we have a look at the figures, let's look at the individual packaging. I like that they all are windowed so you can see the accessories, the figure itself. You don't actually have to open these right up if you don't want to. On the side, Conquest Gorilla 7-inch figure. On the back, Conquest Gorilla read-up says, after generations of genetic engineering by humans, apes are smart enough to understand their position as slaves and hate it. The revolt begins on a detention center for disobedient apes, where a chimpanzee called Caesar urges the prisoners to take up arms and overthrow their abusive masters. The other set consists of, well, the rest of the sets consist of Caesar and General Aldo. The other packaging has the exact same read-up. Or actually, I should not say that. Excuse me. The read-ups are different. Yes, they are different from one another. The Caesar read-up says, Milo is the son of Cornelius and Zira, born after they travel back in time to human-ruled Earth, which I think was, Escape from the Planet of the Apes. After his parents are killed, the chimpanzee is raised by his human foster father, Armando, which I believe was Ricardo Montalban. The chimpanzee is raised by his human foster father Armando, who hides Caesar as humanity genetically engineers and then enslaves apes. Armando's tragic death solidifies the adult Caesar's desire to free all apes, and he sparks a revolution that will change the world. And finally, the read-up on General Aldo. A gorilla with an inferiority complex is a dangerous thing. The general is so jealous of the authority wielded by Caesar and his human advisors, he's willing to break the ultimate commandment of their society. Ape shall not kill ape. After secretly murdering Caesar's son Cornelius, Aldo uses the excuse of a mutant human attack to declare martial law in Ape City. But pride goes before the fall. To check out more from the folks over at NECA Toys, you can go to www.necaonline.com. And with that being said, Spot's going to take a break. I'm going to get these opened up. And when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the 2015 convention exclusives of the Planet of the Apes Classic Series 3. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Out of packaging, the three apes come with a considerable amount of accessories, but we'll look at these individually and discuss. We will discuss. First things first is the Conquest Gorilla. Really, you could take, if you had these individually, you could really army build like crazy and get a fantastic diorama with the Conquest Gorillas. The Conquest Gorillas are sporting red, in this case like a red worker's suit. They all essentially have what looks to be the same legs, perhaps except for General Aldo, but it does look like Caesar and the Conquest Gorilla do probably have the exact same body, of course just colored differently. The face actually is quite good. Very nice on the piece, and one consistent thing that I've noticed with a lot of the NECA Planet of the Apes figures is they put a lot of time into the sculpts on the faces. Paint, I don't think as much heavily painted as, of course, the gorilla's face is going to be majority like this black and almost this dark brown gray. But at least the suits, the jumpsuit that he's wearing, pops perhaps where the coloring on his face and his arms would not have. He's also got what appears to be some sort of sandals or slippers, kind of work shoes, complete with soles. There are peg holes, but unfortunately the figures themselves don't come with display stands. The Conquest Gorilla does come with, like I said, a fair share of accessories. The first thing that he comes with is a SWAT riot gear shield. And you can take it. You have to do a little bit of adjusting here, but you have to take the arm and slide it through that loop, and then you want to attach his hand to the little handle in here, and then you would have the gorilla, of course, holding the shield. Shield's nice. It has almost, I want to say it looks like it's almost just been like hammered out. The shield has like almost a real kind of metallic look to it, as if it would have been hammered. A very dated looking shield. Nice metallic silver on there as well. The Conquest Gorilla also comes with a couple of interchangeable hands. This hand probably is better suited for the gun holding, whereas this hand probably be better suited for the shield. As you can see, his hand is more open than the one that he's sporting right now. But the other accessories also included are a knife, black handled, silver bladed, like a cooking knife. Also a cleaver. Now, whereas the knife didn't have it, the cleaver, on the other hand, does have the silver rivet points there. Nice little small touch. I appreciate that. And the Conquest Gorilla also has a shotgun. NECA, I think, really has perfected the coloring of weapons and accessories. They've got just the right color of that kind of rusted, almost like a darker brownish gunmetal color in the handle, as well as the the triggers and everything else. Very nice, very, very nice piece. The articulation would be the same on all three of them, but we'll still have a look at that. The articulation on the Conquest Gorilla is that he has a ball joint in the head, hinged shoulders, which allow the arms to move out, like so. You could also rotate the arm all the way around. He does have a bend in the elbow, which also rotates that arm all the way around. Maybe stops about there, but not to say that you would need to rotate the arm all the way around. It does kind of stop at one point. Swivel at the wrists. There we go. Still a little stiff on these figures. He has a crunch. Like, this whole torso piece is rubber. This has just been overlaid over top in, I guess, an existing torso piece. So it does have a crunch, which also swivels at the waist area, and also has a lower rubbery, lower torso piece. So the legs do go forward and back and out underneath this section here, which again is all rubber. You can see probably a little more from the back how this area is all rubber. Legs hinge at the knee point, which also swivel at the lower leg area, and also a ball joint in the feet. Good piece, good solid piece. Every time NECA Toys releases new Planet of the Apes figures, I kind of let out a little girlish glee because I do really love the old classic series. One of these days, hopefully we get a Taylor, Charlton Heston. We would love to see him in figure form, but in the meantime, I do really love these ape pieces. Why don't we actually then have a look at Aldo? And we'll kind of leave Caesar for the end here. Aldo in his military ape uniform. Kind of a combination of this kind of dark plum purple, black. He's got some silver going on in the gauntlets, as well as the rivets in the top of his collar. Military style boots, or the equivalent of what military style boots would be for apes. He's got a similar head to that of the Conquest Gorilla, not quite. Aldo's got his own face sculpt. Even the smallest of details, I might add, the teeth, but also to mention, he's got almost a red outline around his eyes. Something like the smallest of details wouldn't necessarily have needed to be put in there, but I do really like that NECA does think of every little detail when they create these figures. 6-inch figures, NECA still really just phenomenal pieces when they release these 6-inch apes 8 pieces. Now he does have a sheath. I'll just move his arm out of the way here. He does have a sheath that is on this torso strap, this kind of satchel strap that goes over his torso, because he does also come with a knife, like a little, it's not quite a knife, I mean it's like a long, it's almost like a small sword for how skinny the blade is. The handle is brown, a little bit of silver there, and a little rivet point there as well. You can take the sword, or whatever knife you would want to call this, and this just slides into the sheath like that. Great way to hide it, especially when you're going to be displaying the figure. Oh, there goes the Conquest gorilla. Get him to properly stand. And there goes Caesar. The problem is these figures don't stand very well on this backdrop. There we go. Good place also to put the sword, because when I'm going to be displaying Aldo, likely going to be displaying him with this gun. Very nice piece. Now it's all sculpted one piece, despite the fact that the strap looks like it's a separate piece. It is actually just molded. NECA used to attach the straps as separate pieces. I'm glad they got away from that, because those little hooks that attach the two always tend to be breaking off. So now they just kind of sculpt all the same piece together, and I think it just holds up better. But speaking again of the weapons, it does have a very real world kind of paint scheme to it. Even the grain on the handle looks like real wood grain. Very, very cool. Aldo also comes with an alternate hand, but the hand, truthfully, the hand that he's holding is really suited best for the gun as well. You take the gun and put it into his hand, like that. There we go. And Aldo can, his finger actually, if quite lined up, not quite, but his finger actually does hit the trigger of the gun itself. So that's how I'm going to be displaying Aldo. You could, of course, display him with the sword if you so wish, but I think gun better suits this general. So there you have General Aldo. Again, the articulation would be the same as it was with the Conquest gorilla, exactly the same. Just the fact that he's got that tunic over top of his body, but still essentially the exact same articulation. Finally, let's have a look at the leader, Caesar. Now, as mentioned, Caesar has the same body, really, as the Conquest gorilla, just though painted in green. Still has that rubber lower torso, as well as the rubber upper torso area. His face is very cool. Kind of has, much like he did in the series. I think actually Caesar, if memory serves me, Caesar I think was played by the same actor as Cornelius. I think that is correct. Face is quite nice though. He's got the brown with the lighter tan color, which also carries over to his hands, which I didn't really touch base on. Aldo's got gloved hands. The Conquest gorilla has regular ape hands, and Caesar here has the regular chimpanzee hands. So more the lighter color in the fingers, and then the fur on the top of the hands. Now he's got a chain, a real chain that's attached to his neck. You can't remove it, although I guess if you wanted to, if you can see it underneath, it's almost hidden by the fact the sculpt of the head. You tip it up, you can see how the collar sits underneath. You could pop the head and take that chain off if you so wish. I'd be more inclined just to leave it on. Now, with Caesar, let's just bring his hands together. I haven't actually tried this yet. Caesar also comes with a pair of shackles. Now, the shackles do seem to attach to one another. You have to flip them around. Just want to see if I can actually get this to fit. I want to take his arms, we want to bend the elbows. Bend the elbows inward. And we're going to try this, see if it works. It's going to likely be, maybe I have to twist the wrists. Let's see if he actually can fit these shackles. This goes over one. I feel like it's almost too tight of a fit. You could obviously easily get around one, and these two shackles attach to one another, like that. I don't know if I can actually get both of them to touch. Maybe I have to bend the elbow just a little bit more. There we go. Let's try that. Get the shackle, Put the shackles over his hands. The problem is you have to get the shackles to be straight, but his hands have to curve. See, I don't know if I can actually get it, but he does come with the little chain shackles. I like the touch, just not the easiest to get on there. Try it one more time. Try it one more time. See, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it. So, it is there. I guess if you wanted to, you could attach one and attach the other shackle. These flip around and the shackles plug right into themselves like that. There we go, just like that. So you can attach one of them. Getting them both on might be a little more of a lesson in patience, as you can see there. Unless I'm just doing it wrong, that's possible as well. A little chain for Caesar. Other accessories that come with Caesar. Let's bring the camera back a little bit. The other accessories, he also comes with an extra pair of hands, which perhaps might be better suited for holding, or for the shackles to be holding him. The other hand that he's got currently sporting, that is suited for the M16 rifle that he comes with. Again, nice paint on the piece. He's got more of a green strap. You could have it over his shoulder like so, or you can also have him holding it. And just put it into his hand. Bit of a struggle, I'm afraid. There we go. You have Caesar holding his gun. Articulation would be the same as Aldo, as well as the Conquest Gorilla. There's nothing different between the two. And really, also because he has so much of the Conquest Gorilla's similar parts, again, the articulation would be the same on him as well. A good, solid set. Luckily that I was able to pick the set up, because I've really been interested in, well, the original classic Planet of the Apes is still one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time. As it kind of petered off, as you got into like Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, and so on and so forth, it kind of watered down the product, but I still really love the Planet of the Apes movie franchise, and I'm so thrilled that NECA still continues to release figures based on that movie series. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the NECA Toys Planet of the Apes Classic Series 3, the 2015 convention exclusive. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.